What's up, guys? Igor Hernandez here. Let's talk trial. Today I want to talk about whether you should object, or rather when you should object. So obviously, as a trial lawyer, you know that you can object. You know that there are things that will happen in trial that are improper. You know there are rules of evidence that govern when we can object and when we can't object, and what we can say and cannot say, and all that kind of good stuff. So you learn the rules, you get sharp, you know exactly what's going on, and you listen attentively, I guess you'd say. And then you hear something that's objectionable, and you're saying that, ha, I got him, I'm gonna object, right? Well, I'm here to tell you to kind of slow that down a little bit. We are not the evidence police as trial lawyers. Some people, when they first start trying cases, they feel like they have to be the evidence police. That if anything's objectionable, if anything's not proper, they have to object, and they make sure to object every single time. Now, I used to fall victim to this, or rather, I used to be guilty of this when I first started out in real life, but also particularly when I was doing trial team at FIU. I just, my first couple of competitions, I could not help myself. I just felt like I had to. So, I mean, thankfully, I've tried enough cases now that I don't do that anymore, but I'm here to help you not make the mistakes I made. And here's the deal. Number one, objections are annoying. You have to make them because sometimes you have to preserve an error for appeal, and other times you have to prevent or keep the jury from hearing stuff that's not admissible. Cool, I get that, but they're still annoying no matter which way you put it, no matter how you do it. So you want to minimize the objection, especially if you're in a courtroom where every objection is followed by some sort of sidebar, some sort of pause, some sort of break in the action where the jury's thinking, why are we doing this again? And they're falling asleep and they hate you for it. So because objections are annoying, you want to minimize how often you do them. Which means if something's going on that's objectionable, if you find yourself in trial and I don't know, some hearsay's coming in, and you know it's hearsay, and you know it's inadmissible, and you know that legally it should not be coming in, instead of jumping up and objecting, I would suggest that you take a pause and think about it and determine whether it's going to hurt or not hurt. For example, if it's an issue that doesn't matter, that has no bearing on the case, I don't care if it's hearsay. I don't care if the other side is leading that witness. I don't care if it's inadmissible, if it's not relevant, if it's, whatever. You can break every single rule of evidence. If what you're doing doesn't matter for the case, I'm not getting up because I don't care. And because that's going to be smoother for the jury, and because you will achieve no goal whatsoever by objecting to something that just doesn't matter. So, let's say it's a case about, I don't know, a car accident. Let's say everybody agrees what time it happened. Let's say it actually doesn't matter what time the accident happened. The other side's asking the witness questions, and the other side asks the witness, when you spoke to such and such, what happened? And you know what he's going to say is, well, I spoke to such and such, and I asked him what time it was, and he said it was 3:45 or 4 or whatever. Clearly hearsay, he asked for the time because he wanted to know the time, and the guy says this is what time it is, meaning it's an out-of-court statement brought in for the truth of the matter asserted, that it was in fact 3:45 or whatever. Hearsay. Shouldn't be coming in. Inadmissible. Do you object? No. Why? Because you don't care. It doesn't matter. If the time doesn't matter, if it's not a dispute, if it's not an issue in the case, then sit down. Let it go by. Who cares? And here's the other thing. If you don't object all the time, you only object certain times. Let's say every day you get a couple of objections in a trial. The judge is going to cue into the fact that you're not that type of lawyer who's objecting to everything and anything, which means every time you stand up and object, they will listen to you more than they would otherwise, because they know, well, this guy's sat through trial for 8 hours and hasn't said anything, hasn't made a single objection. This must be important. This must mean something. So in that sense, it'll be helpful too. But primarily, the jury will also see you as a person who's not getting up and interrupting the action all the time, which is helpful because no matter which way you put it, no matter which way you spin it, when you object, you prevent the jury from hearing information. And when the jury sees you as the person who's constantly trying to prevent them from hearing information, they are not going to trust you. because they're going to think that you're standing in the way of them finding out what the truth is. And if that's what you're doing in their mind, then the truth must not be your friend, which means they're less likely to believe what you're saying. So anyway, guys, that's it for now. Just because you can object does not mean you should object. I'll catch you again next Wednesday with another episode. If you like the video, go ahead and like the video, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can catch my new episodes, and I'll catch you again next time.